Guys, come on in. It's so good to see you again. Got stories to share. I'm virtually there. It's showtime, my friend. It's showtime, my friend, with a tear or a grin. We're chomping a bit to begin. Wear sweatpants or slacks, let's break out the snacks. It's showtime, my friend. If you have to go, I want you to know it's easy to log right back in. Connection too slow, hope you don't miss the show. It's showtime, my friend. It's time to prepare for our online affair. I do hope you'll stay till the end. I tuned up my axe, sit back and relax. No matter how your day has been, we'll make you smile, make it all worth your while. It's showtime, it's starting in no time. It's showtime, my friend. Well, hello, you folks. I saw you logging in earlier here while I was getting things set up. I see we have Jack and Barb and Kim and Mark Wright and Joan and Bob are there, and Bud, Brent, and Jeannie. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people plus me. It turns out, some of you may already know, my mom is not attending now because about a week ago she had a stroke, and it was we've been doing all kinds of stuff trying to get things worked out, get treatment first, and then starting in rehab and all that good stuff. So there's been a lot of stuff going on, and we're encouraged up to a point. We need to start talking to the rehab people tomorrow to find out how they are assessing her. And we did discover she still has that spark. She wants to do stuff. Of course, that's gotten her into some trouble when she's trying to move around and can't walk right now. So anyway, but we wanted you people to know about that. Some of you already know, I think, but this ought to fill everything in, or part of the details anyway. All right, but that means also some of the friends of hers that she would notify and let know that the show was going on. Well, she hasn't been doing that, obviously. So, yeah, I appreciate that, Kim, and I know the rest of you are feeling that too. So, all right, today's show it's all about a roll of the dice. And what I have, I don't know if I can see it in the window here. Yeah, I have a cup here, and it's a Dewar's. Is Dewar's I think it's a whiskey, right? Yeah, Dewar's. It's a Dewar's shot glass. Maybe it's a double shot glass. It's a pretty good shot glass. And I'm going to shake up the die that I have in here, and then I'm going to read the number that's on the top. And that will tell me, right from where I am in the list now, how far forward I'm going to go. And then then after that one, I will shake again, and then I'll go backward from the one that I'm on. And if I already played the next song, I'll skip that as a number and go back. And if it's like 5 back, but they only went 2 forward, well, we'll go the other way. So it's just a fun way to see what happens. But one of the things I started realizing as I was looking at these things, I went, well, the thing is, when I plan a show, I figure out up-tempo songs and when the slow ones are going to go, and if there's some humor in there, I try to place them so that they split up and then we have a big ending. Well, can't do that this way. I'm going to have to shake the dice and let them decide, and we'll just see how it goes. So here we go. First song is going to be number 1 from where I what? I'll reach right in. I want to be fair here. You will see I'm holding it this way. I'm going to take it and turn it toward you, and you will see the number 1. Okay, so number 1, what was the one I had here now? Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, this is a cool song by The Diamonds. It's called Little Darlin'. And by the way, this is some of those songs from the 50s that have the oh, hold on. Forgot to plug my guitar in. All right, here we go. That's because I was charging it last week. Not last week. It was the week before, because last week was that I had to do a substitute thing because I had a show that I booked on top of this one. So let's see. So you recognize that? Oh, where can my baby be? And Diana. All those 50 songs. So here's Little Darling by, the Diamonds arrangement performed by me. And by the way, I'm doing all the voices on this one, so let's give it a go. A little darling, a little darling, where you are, my lover. I was wrong to try to love her too. Hoopa, 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 well, that my lover was just for you. My darling, I need you to call my own and never do wrong, to hold in mind your little hand. I know too soon all is so grand. Please hold my hand. My dear, I was wrong to try to love her too. Hoopa, 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 well, that my lover was just for you. And they even put cha-cha-cha on the end. Cha-cha-cha. Yes, thank you, Kathy and Bill. Bill's been around visiting. Bill kind of knew early on because Mom was not attending some church functions and things like that. So let's see. And also because Mom called him first to let him know. Anyway, one of the reasons, too, we want to, some people, why we did not let people know right away is because we wanted to be able to say, gee, we would like to know how things are, because there can be some very severe ones, as some of you know, and we kind of wanted to hear what was going on. Plus, we wanted it to settle down so that she was in a rehab place, in one place. So if a few people wanted to visit, they'd be able to know where to go, rather than, is she here? Is she there? Is she here? You know, that kind of a thing. So I appreciate all you guys' interest in this, and also your tolerance to not being told right away, okay? Just that. All right, so let's get another one going here. Now, obviously, we cannot go backward on this one, so whatever number I get here, it's going to have to go for and the number is, it's 6. So I will turn it toward you. There's a 6, so you know I'm being fair, huh? Now, which one is 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, it's another 50s song that has similar kinds of vocal stuff in it. This is called Get a Job, and is done by the Silhouettes. And by the way, you'll hear all the background vocals and stuff on this. Now, before karaoke tracks were available, and I've used some karaoke tracks in the past. Before those were available, I would build up all these tracks by myself, and I would do all the vocal parts. Sometimes they'd have 4 or 6 vocals. So on these ones, you'll hear some of that, all the backing vocals. I did them one at a time. It's quite a trick, too, because as a singer, you have to be able to hit the boom, 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 boom. Hit the low ones, and you have to, yeah. There's a part, though, in most people's voice, yeah. Right there, it gets real weak, yeah, before it transitions back into, chest voice and that kind of a thing, they call it. Anyway, here it is. Let me see. It says it's in E. Mom, get a job. Okay, I've got my part figured out. Do you have yours? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mom, get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na. Get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na. I get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na. I get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na. Mom, get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na. Every morning, about the time of the day to get a job. Well, after breakfast every day, she turned the water down my way, and she never failed to say, get a job. I get a job. I get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na. I get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na. Mama, get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na. Well, when I get the paper, I read it through and through. And my girl, she never fails to see if there is any work for me. I better go back to the house, there my little woman's mouth, preaching and a-crying, tell me that I'm lying about a job that I never could find. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na, get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na. Play that saxophone. Well, when I get the paper, I read it through and through. And my girl, she never fails to see if there is any work for me. I can go back to the house, I hear that woman's mouth, a preaching and a crying, tell me that I'm lying about a job that I never could find. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na, I get a job. I get a job. I get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na. Mama, get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na. I get a job. I get a job. I get a job. I get a job. Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na. And that song is where the group Sha-na-na got their name from. Yes, they did. Probably because Bowser could go, bother, get that look on his face that he would always he would do. Oh, also, I wanted to point out something that you might not notice because it's very, very small on this shirt. This shirt, I thought it'd be nice for the show, but the details don't show up very well. So what you can't see is that there are millions of sharks all over. Each one of these little things that looks like a dot is a shark, and they're all swirling around each other. And I didn't mean anything by it. I just thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm very nervous about sharks. When we were on a vacation, we were on a vacation. We went with Mom, and we went to an area, and these people jumped down in where they had stingrays. Okay, first of all, the word sting ought to tell you, don't get in there, right? Because, if you step on one of those stingers, you're in trouble. And then they had also what they called nurse sharks. I think they just come around and check your blood pressure. No, I didn't trust them. They got teeth and everybody else got in the water and they say, oh, come on in. They said, these sharks don't bite. And I said, yeah, I can see it now. If I get in there, it'll say, very unusual situation. It'll be in the Book of World Records, the first person ever bitten by or killed by a nurse shark. So I did not get in the water, but the water was clear and I could look down and take pictures of them all feeding these things. They had food. They were feeding shark. Never mind. Okay. Where did that come from? All right. It's time to shake a dice. Oh, where'd it go? No. Oh, here it is. Okay. My goodness. How could it jumped out of there by itself? No, I just set it down. Okay. The number is 2 this time. Okay. We lift it straight out and then we rotate it toward the camera. Number 2. So I think I'm going to go backward. Nah, I'm going to go forward 2 and I'll tell you why. It's a spoken thing. It's kind of fun. But the other thing I have is pretty cool, and I want to save it for a little bit later. Hey, wait a minute. That doesn't apply to the dice thing, does it? Okay. Nevertheless, this is a thing that I learned from Victor Borge. Now, he had a whole story that he would tell using this technique that you're going to hear. But I found something different from the newspaper, and I thought it's more fun than the one that he was using. So here we go. It says, communication is so important, and yet it's apparently quite difficult. In fact, many of the problems in the world today are caused by lack of communication or certainly misunderstood things, other than, people who are want to rule the world and own every country and all that kind of stuff. Those people that's not a communication issue. That's something else. So I heard Victor Borge talking about a possible solution to this communication issue. And I kind of go along with what he says, although I haven't exactly adopted it into my everyday speech. But you'll see. When we write, we use punctuation to make ourselves understood more clearly. Now, so if you wrote a letter to a friend, you might say, was I an idiot? And use a question mark to indicate you're not quite sure. But if you use an exclamation point, it comes out, was I an idiot? Meaning there's no doubt. You see the difference between just that punctuation. Okay, now our voices, we carry some melodic elements of that. Was I an idiot? If I raise my voice, that's usually a question mark. But to make it more clear, he suggested that we assign sounds to these punctuation marks. For example, a period might sound like this. A dash would be fss. An exclamation point would be sort of a vertical dash followed by a period and go fss. Let's see, that's an exclamation mark. A comma would be, and since quotation marks look like commas, they might be or on both ends of the quote, like that. And a question mark might be, like that. Okay, so I have a clipping from the newspaper that I'm going to read here using this technique to show how it works. It's entitled, Happy Birthday, or Why I Fired My Secretary. I woke up early feeling a little depressed because it was my birthday. And I thought, quotes now, another year older. So you get the comma and the 2 quotes. All right, but decided to make the best of it. So I showered and shaved, and knowing when I went down to breakfast, my wife she'd greet me with a big kiss and say, Happy birthday, dear. All smiles. I went into breakfast, and there sat my wife reading the newspaper as usual. She didn't say one word. So I got myself a cup of coffee, and I thought, oh, well, she just forgot. The kids will be in a few minutes all cheery, and they'll sing happy birthday and have a nice gift for me. So there I sat, enjoying my coffee, and I waited. Finally, the kids came running and yelling, Give me a piece of toast. I'm late. And where's my coat? I'm going to miss the bus. Feeling more depressed than ever, I left for the office. Oh, Excuse me. When I walked into the office, my secretary greeted me with a nice smile and a, oh wait, she's left-handed. Happy birthday, boss. No, happy birthday, boss. There we go. You got to learn these things, okay? I'll get you some coffee. Her reminding me made me feel a lot better. Later in the morning, my secretary knocked on my office door and said, since it's your birthday, why don't we have lunch together? Thinking it would make me feel better, I said, that's a great idea. So we locked up the office, and since it was my birthday, I said, why don't we drive out of town and have a nice lunch in the country instead of going to the usual place? So we drove out of town and went to a nice little out of the way place and had a couple of martinis and a nice lunch and started driving back to town when my secretary said, why don't we go by my place and I'll fix you another martini? Well, it sounded like, oh, no, there's something on the screen here. Oh, okay. It sounded like a good idea since we didn't have anything to do in the office anyway. So we went to her apartment and she fixed us both a martini. And after a while, she said, if you will excuse me, I think I'll slip into something more comfortable. And she left the room. In a few minutes, she opened her bedroom door and came out carrying a big birthday cake. And following her was my wife and all my kids. And there I sat, with nothing on but my socks. So let me remind you, the title of that little story is called Happy Birthday or Why I Fired My Secretary. Actually, it wasn't her fault, buddy. Okay. Yes. Oh, hi. Hi, you guys. Hi, everybody. All right. I don't think there was a song that I would like to do, but all right. Let me get this part here. And, oh, it's time to roll another die. I hope we make it back to the one I skipped. That'd be sad if that didn't work. Oh, here it is. This one. Okay, I'm going to draw it straight out and point it at you. It's another 2. And 2 would take us back to get a job, and we're not going to do that. So we're going to move ahead to a very mellow old song called Oh, Danny Boy. All right. Ooh, I haven't played this one in quite a while, too. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone, and all the roses falling. It's you must go, and I must stay. But please come back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. For I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. When you come back and all the flowers am dead, as dead I may be. Please come to find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. But please come back when summer in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow, or I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Okay, that was a good choice for the letter two. Woo! All right, let's see what we have. We're not going to just look at it. We're going to decide by this. All right, be sure to go back to that one I wanted. Ooh, we've moved forward so far. I don't know if I can even get back there. All right, let's see what we a two again, a two. If I go back to Victor Borger. We're not going to do that. Okay, well, all right. Well, at some point we'll hit the bottom. We have to come back anyway, no matter. I know. Wait a minute. When I said two, I didn't show you this one. Anyway, it's definitely a two. All right. But I decided that I could go backwards, but I'd skip the ones that we already did. So I have to skip this. And then, oh, here's a cool one. This is called 2 Days, the First Day of the Rest of Your Life. It's written by a fellow by the name James Griffin. And Jim Griffin was a member of the group Bread. But the group name didn't stay Bread very long because David Gates' songs were so good. They became the hit songs. And, well, I should explain a little further. 4 guys got together. I don't remember all their names. I know David Gates and, of course, Jim Griffin. They were all 4 songwriters. And they thought, wow, if we work together, we could just have lots and lots of hit songs because we're all great songwriters. They'd already been published before. Well, it didn't work out quite that way. David Gates' songs went boo! Plus, not only that, there was some unique qualities to his really high voice, beautiful high voice. And so we heard all of David Gates' stuff and none of the other guys' things. So, but here's one of them. It's called 2 Days, the First Day of the Rest of Your Life. Empty nights, endless days. Sometimes love turns out that way. Yes, I know it went too fast, but you can't keep living your life in the past. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. It's up to you to make the best of your life. Lift your eyes, it's another day. She was there, and she was gone. never know how you'll get along. I've been there, and I recall it's better lost than never to have loved at all. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. It's up to you to make the best of your life. Lift up your eyes, it's another day. Oh, you say you've been in love before. You've been around and you know the score. But when those tears fill your eyes, then sometimes they can blind you. So my friend, you must know, love may come and love may go. When it's gone, don't despair. Everyone has someone else waiting out there. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. It's up to you to make the best of your life. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. Lift up your eyes, it's the rest of your life. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. It's up to you to make the best of your life. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. Lift up your eyes, it's the rest of your life. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. It's up to you to make the best of your life. So I think it's a pretty cool song. Well, it's certainly not like, if a picture paints 1,000 words, then why can't I paint you? The words would never show that you have come to know. You know, that's a really beautiful melody. I mean, how can you deny that? This is a nice thing. I like the way it builds up into the chorus, and certainly the meaning. My goodness, that's really valuable. All right, let's move on now. Oh, it's a 6. Oh, I didn't show you. I got to turn it this way so you can see the 6. There you go. I just want you to know I'm not cheating. I suppose I could anyway. All right, then we are on today's the first day. So if I go back, nope, can't go that way. So I have to go. Oh no, there's space to go back. All right, here we go. Today's the first day. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, only go 5. So I got to go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Oh, this is a fun song I wrote with Dewey Lunguski. It's called Walking Slower. And I think I came up with the idea. I don't remember quite how it was, but Dewey heard my idea and he said, hey, what if we did this and it became Walking Slower? So, not positive which way it went. Let's see. See how you like this little story. I think it's cute. I'm glad my name is partly on this, even though I think Dewey did most of the work. He's such a great songwriter. Here it is. Oh, that was the end of the song. Okay, let's start it over. Here we go. One week into 7th grade, he had it figured out. The cute blonde in his class had moved just 3 doors down. He'd never been late to school a day in his life. But all that changed when he looked into her eyes. What used to be a 10-minute journey suddenly turned into 30. Walking slower got him faster. faster to exactly what he wanted and was after. More time with his girl, less wasted on the world. Every minute counted, getting to know her, walking slower. The next few years they wore out lots of shoes together. Their first pair after graduation, talk turned to forever. A week before the wedding, he was racing all around, till her kiss at the altar settled him down. As they made their way down the aisle, he barely broke the 60-minute mile. Walking slower got him faster to exactly what he wanted and was after. More time with his girl, less wasted on the world. Every minute to counting to know her, walking slower. Life and love, it could have flown by, but he took it one step at a time. Walking slower got him faster to exactly what he wanted and was after. More time with his girl, less wasted on the world. Every minute counted, getting to know her. Walking slower got him faster to exactly what he wanted and was after. More time with his girl, less wasted on the world. Every minute counted, getting to know her. Walking slower, walking slower, walking slower. I think it's a sweet song. I hope you guys did too. I see. Hi, Corinne. I see you there. Thank you all. Oh, that's cute, Kim. That little. Oh, let's see what we have now. I don't know if I can get all the way back to the one I want to do. Number 3. Okay, wait. And I turn it toward you. There's the number 3. And let's see, walking slower. Because that one was a long number, I can back up 3. Well, this would be 1, 2, 3. There it is. Okay, this is kind of a fun little story. This is called, well, I should explain this. Came from, oh, no, I'm not going to be able to remember his name. It came from a guy that was on Hee Haw, and it wasn't the barber. It wasn't, anyway. So it's called Mrs. Pitts and her pet snake, Petey. Thanks, Joan. It says, I want to tell you about Mrs. Pitts and her pet snake, Petey. Mrs. Pitts had a pet snake, and his name was Petey. Now, snakes are like little kids. Of course, they're mischievous, and they have a means of communication. They don't talk, of course, but they hiss. They go, hiss. That's their way of getting their message across, of course. And most of the time, it's a warning. But they also live in a pit, and they sometimes have been known to hiss in their pit. Okay, Mrs. Pitts was going to leave the house, and she told Petey, she said, now, Petey, I'm going to be gone for about 30 minutes, and while I'm gone, if you have to hiss, don't hiss in our pit, go over to Mrs. Potts and hiss in her pit. Well, it was no time until he just had to hiss. So he went over to Mrs. Potts, and he just went ahead and he hissed in her pit. Well, Mrs. Potts came to the door, looked out, and said, Petey, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm hissing in your pit. She said, you can't hiss in our pit. If you have to hiss, hiss in your own pit. So this hurt Petey's feelings. You know, he's kind of a little guy. He didn't really understand about, assertiveness and things like that. And so he cried, and he crawled back to his own pit, and he hissed in it. Well, meantime, Mrs. Pitts came home, and she said, now, Petey, what on earth happened? She saw, the pit was full of hiss. So he told her the story about what had happened, and he said, well, I had to hiss, and so, like you told me, I went over to Mrs. Potts, and I was hissing in her pit, and she came to the door and said, you can't hiss in our pit. If you have to hiss, you have to hiss in your own pit. Mrs. Potts said, well, don't worry about that uppity Mrs. Potts. I can remember her when she didn't have a pit to hiss in. That's a long way to go for that line. And it creates a lot of danger in your minds, doesn't it, you guys? All right, let's get another one going here. The number is 3. Let me see. I'm going to reach in. Get a number right out of our doer's glass there. And the number is 3. All right, so we are Mrs. Pitts. And if I go back 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, I better explain this one. This song is, I haven't done, I don't know, it's not that I don't like it. I just think it misrepresents me in my life. What I did is I wrote a story. It's a story called Guitar Playing Madman. And it says that he ran away from home and all that stuff. Well, this is a character that I was writing. You know, it's like a person writes a novel. It's a writer who writes a novel. It's not their story. Otherwise it's a autobiography, right? So anyway, so I wrote this story, and I just don't want anybody to misunderstand that. And also, the guy's kind of a crybaby. I don't know if that's right, but anyway, here it goes. It's called Guitar Playing Madman. 15 years old, I ran away. My parents couldn't see. I had to play the music that was pouring out of me. A guitar in my left hand, all my dreams were in the right. I started off on that cold day's long journey into night. Although the bands kept breaking up, I came to realize no way I would ever quit. The stars were in my eyes. The only girl who seemed for real turned ultimatum queen. And when she left, although I cried, I finally could see I'm just a raving guitar playing madman. I never had no one to call my own. I'm just a raving guitar playing madman, looking for a place to call my home. Success successfully slipped right through these callous-fingered hands. The older that I got, the less I cared. As all I'd loved I'd left behind for the dreams and melodies no one will ever hear. I'm just a raving guitar playing madman. I never had no one to call my own. I'm just a raving guitar playing madman, looking for a place to call my home. I swore I'd never crawl back home until I reached the top. And pride's a nagging lover who will never, never stop. The story of my life spills out, this cracked guitar of mine. I've told it now 1,000 different times. But one night soon when I lie down, these final words I sing will etch above my head in marbled rhyme. Here lays a raving guitar playing madman who never had no one to call his own. Here lays a raving guitar playing madman who finally found a place to call his own. Guitar playing madman, never had no one to call my own. Here lays a raving guitar playing madman, looking for a place to call my home. La 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 la. All right, let's see what we have. We got a 3. All 3. 3, okay. Number 3. Now, let's see, where are we on the list? Okay, we're even guitar playing. Oh, let me go backward now. 1, no, can't count that one. 1, 2. Oh, we got, I hope I get a 1 next time. So. Yes, I haven't played this one in a long time. If I remember right, I think Engelbert Humperdinck did a version of this one. They were trying to cross over into country a little bit. And this worked, I'd say. Blue Spanish eyes, teardrops are falling from your Spanish eyes. Please don't cry. This is just adios and not goodbye. Soon I'll return, bringing you all the love your heart can hold. Please say, see. Say you and your Spanish eyes will wait for me. Blue Spanish eyes, prettiest eyes in all of Mexico. True Spanish eyes, smile for me once more before I go. Soon I'll return, bringing you all the love my heart can hold. Please say, say you and your Spanish eyes will wait for me. Say you and your Spanish eyes will wait for me. Spanish eyes, wait for me. Say, see. Cha cha cha. Okay, we could take a 1, we could take a 1 or a 2. I'm going to let it lie where it is. It's a 4. Okay, well, I'll show it to you. I would have, I could have cheated, told you it was a 1. 4. All right, let's see. So we're in Spanish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Well, I think you'll appreciate this one, Bill. I think you've heard it before. Bill Amundsen there. This is what I call accidental comedy from church bulletins. And, I said Mom typed the church bulletin for a while, and she discovered that occasionally mistakes would get made. But you would think that sort of you would be guided by a heavenly hand, your typing. Well, that was before typing correction, but it might not fix some of these things. For example, this one reads, "Don't let worry kill you. Let the church help." Oh, my gosh. You put those 2 sentences together. All right. The next one. The Scouts are saving aluminum cans, bottles, and other items to be recycled. Proceeds will be used to cripple children. Okay. Thursday night. Potluck supper. Prayer and medication to follow. It's just a spelling error, folks. It's a spelling error. The low self-esteem support group will meet Thursday at 7 p.m. Please use the back door. That'd help build their confidence, huh? Oh, my goodness. The rosebud on the altar this morning is to announce the birth of David Allen Johnson, the son of Reverend and Mrs. Tom Johnson. Oh, just sin. Oh, you know why? The O and the I are right next to each other on the keyboard there. It's so easy. But what a difference that word makes, huh? Oh, my goodness. Let's see. There will be a meeting in the south and north ends of the church this afternoon. Children will be baptized on both ends. Some kind of new procedure, I guess, huh? Oh, my goodness. And finally, at the evening service tonight, the sermon topic will be, What is Hell? Come early and listen to our choir practice. Very cold, yeah. What is hell? Come, I guess I could have, Bill, I could have used come and listen to our bell choir practice, but no, I didn't want to do that. Bill and Kathy are bell ringers, and it's cool. If you've never seen that, folks, there is some cool stuff. Each person has at least 2 bells, usually. I would say sometimes there's only one, but then they sometimes, depending on the number of performers they have, they may have to set one bell down and pick up a different tone, and then they play. And as each person plays just their part, all the parts mesh together, and they sound a beautiful clanging song. Clang, clang. It's just beautiful sound. So it's a story of that. All right, let's move on to here. Oh my gosh, we're almost out of time. What the heck happened? I've never done like this before. Okay, we have to move 5. I'll save time. Let's go there. Number 5. Let me start where I am. 1, 2. No, we're not going to get back to the one I want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, there's some that I left out, Bill. But you and I can discuss that later. All right, here we are. This one is That Old Black Magic, the Frank Sinatra song. Now, I did a whole Frank Sinatra show, and it turned out some of the publisher of some of those songs does not want you to put these songs up on YouTube, and so they blanked out. If you were to go back and watch my show, you'd see like 4 or 5 songs were blanked right out. I'm sitting there going, and nothing's coming out. And then once I switch to a different song, all the audio comes back. Well, that's a pretty good way of doing things, I suppose. I'd rather have them just blank me out than sue me. So here we go. This is one, but I don't believe this one belongs to that publisher, whatever the deal. Here it is, That Old Black Magic. I better do D. Oh, my goodness. I think this is one I had trouble hearing. Let me get my notes together. Just say. Well, if I have to start it over, I will. Let's just get it started. Oh, I got it already. That old black magic has me in its spell. That old black magic that you weave so well. Those icy fingers up and down my spine. That same old witchcraft when your eyes meet mine. That same old tingle that I feel inside. And when that elevator starts its ride, darling, down and down I go, round and round I go, like a leaf that's caught in a tide. I know I should stay away, but what can I do? I hear your name, and I'm aflame with such a burning desire that only a kiss can put out the fire. Oh, you're the lover that I've waited for, the mate that fate had me created for. And every time your lips meet mine, darling, down and down I go, round, round, round I go, in in a spin. I love that spin I'm in. I'm under that old black magic called love. I know I should stay away, but what can I do? I hear your name, and I'm a flame with such a burning desire that only a kiss could put out the fire. For you're the lover that I waited for, the mate that fate had me created for. And every time your lips meet mine, darling, down and down I go, round, round, round I go, in a spin. I love that spin I'm in. I'm under that old black magic called love. I'm under that old black magic called love. I'm under that old black magic called love. Wow, sometimes they come out nice. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I might ignore the last one. It says 2. Now, where I am here, that old black magic, that's way down the list, I think. I don't think we're getting back to the one I wanted to do for you. Let me see what that one turns out, though. 2. 1, 2. Nah, we're going to do the other one. Now, this one takes me a moment to set up. I'm going to disconnect this and tell you what I'm up to. What I did a couple years ago, we recorded an album with a couple of boogie-woogie piano players. Fantastic. Bob Baldori is one of them. And now I'm going to forget our other guy. But anyway, I produced the record for them. And actually, I was the engineer, but it seemed like we had started the project 2 or 3 times, and each time would be months would go by, and we would. Finally, Bob said, "Listen, if you will produce," I said, "Well, what do you want me to do?" He said, "Well, I want you to keep on me whenever we finish a session. Don't let more than 2 weeks go by before saying, 'Hey, we got to get back in there.'" And so that's what I did. I bugged the heck out of them, and we finished the album, and they put it out, and it actually got. Let me see. It was submitted by someone, we don't know who. It was submitted for a Grammy. So I am connected to a Grammy. Well, it wasn't exactly nominated. See, you get submitted, and then they break it down, and then you become one of the 5 finalists, that kind of thing. So I'm going to try to bring this up on my screen. There's a little fussing I'm going to do with this. And oh, wow, the screen just jumped all over the place here. It's not supposed to do that. Well, if I move this way, move that. There's a little setup because I have to make the part show for you. And I have to cover up another part of the screen and all that silly stuff. So I'll just do the best I can here in getting everything lined up. Whoa, where'd it go? Oh, okay. It said loading something. There's nothing to load. Well, I'm going to just start the thing out. It'll start playing, and the picture will get clear in just a minute, I hope. All right, let me transition over to here. All right, now your screen start to show some stuff on the side, and then I'm going to move it around until the only thing left is our Boogie Woogie video. At least I hope that. Probably a little bit on the screen. Here we go.
That's what we're going to do here this afternoon, make you feel like...
Woo! How about that, huh? That was some boogie woogie stuff, man. Let's see, I don't know what I'm showing my screen now. I got to switch over. I hope you guys saw what you were supposed to be seeing, and I don't know if I did it right. Anyway, very, very cool working with these guys. They are brilliant, yeah. Now, they still play, and I'll just explain a little bit. Bob Baldori started out, he found a fellow named Bob Seeley, who was a fantastic boogie-woogie player, who was just playing in a little place down in Detroit. He didn't want to be famous. He got free dinners and got paid, and he could play all night long, the stuff that he loved doing. And so Bob saw him and started taking him on tour, and they went around. They played Russia a couple of times, and then he stopped. You know, Bob Seeley wanted to stop traveling and doing all that stuff. He was well into his 80s. He's probably 90 now, I think. Anyway, so Bob found this other fella, and now I'm so apologize that I can't remember his name now. Geez, we haven't worked together for a couple of years. And then he's also worked with 2 or 3 other people, and they're always like the top boogie-woogie players in the world. Bob is very fussy about making sure that they can work like with a metronome like a consistency, because they really make that driving beat work so well. Guys are terrific. Anyway, that. I want to try something different this time, and I think that was okay. It was kind of fun doing that. But I want to bring up now my grand song that I always finish with. I call it the TV segment music. And I'm just going to let it play as we... Woo, come on loud. As we fade away. Hey, thanks for attending, everybody. And let me see. I didn't look around at your comments. I had the screen blanked out for some of the stuff I was doing. Yeah, those guys, they don't play around here much because the other fellow, the one whose name I can't remember, doesn't live here. He lives, I think, for a while he was in New York, then he was in Seattle. It's where you can find his work. And he got married and they've got a kid now, and so his desire to travel a lot isn't as strong as it used to be. So, all right, so much fun. That was kind of cool. An interesting way to do that. And there are more. There are way more, Kathy. Way more of those. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for being here, and have a great week. Listen, if I don't see you for a while, have a great life. I could be generous and wish things like that for you. Okay. Oh, I think I need to eat something. I'm feeling faint. Shouldn't the fireplace at least be moving? Oh, it's moving now. It's moving away.